Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the moment you've all been waiting for. She's got class. She's got grace. She'll put you at ease. She knows how to make you talk your truth. This show is sponsored by Supreme FM and Tharm Equest. Hashtag spilling the tea. Hashtag Juliet G.
Mother, I never forget you for the suffer where you suffer for me. Yeah. Sweet mother, I never forget you for the suffer where you suffer for me. Yeah. Sweet mother, I never forget you for the suffer where you suffer for me. Yeah. Sweet mother, I never forget you for the suffer where you suffer for me. Yeah.
Mom, you know you're my number one. Mom, you know you're my number one. And I know actions speak louder than words too. But I'm telling you now, I love you, Mom. I love you, Mom. For all the big things and all the little stuff you've done. And I know actions speak loud, but they can't speak louder than the crowd. When I say you were getting action, read, may I roll in with the nines if you get rude to my mumsy. I'm a nice guy, but I can get ugly. I'm a grand guy, but I can get funky. And me without mum is like cornflakes without the milk. I love my mum like garnet silk, but I don't wanna get locked up like Shine. So God forgive me if I bust my I never forget you. Alright, Dad, am I repping? Music, please. Oh, yeah. Go on, then. Listen to this, Mum. This song's worth much more than a kiss, Mum. Worth more than a bracelet on the wrist, Mum. And you know me, Dad, I'm your first son. And I will never let nobody diss, Mum. I don't know another love like this, Mum. How can your love make me happy as Larry, but still somehow make me cry like Swiss, Mum? Mum better know that I will always take care of my two younger brothers and my sis, Mum. I know we argue, but it's all Chris, Mum. Me and Jay and me are like Ace and Viz, Mum. It's okay, leave that, sit down. You just made the food, let me wash up your dish, Mum. You deserve it. You gave birth to two of the biggest crime artists in the biz, Mum. Yeah, get you. Suffer where you suffer for. It's Junior, Mortibo. Hey, Mum, let me break it down for you so you understand. I love you, Mum. It's the deepest love, the deepest feeling. And if you love your mum, let me see a middle finger and index finger touching the ceiling and say, bruh, 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 bruh. Cause if it wasn't for your mum, you wouldn't be breathing. And I know I don't normally MC like this, but you know what? It's not an MC thing. I'm not a prodigal son, that's not me done. I love my sweet mum, she brought me up properly. She never let me come home at all hours of the evening. Cause when I was bad, she made me stand in the corner and put my hands up. It was either that or get a beating. Go on, eh? Get you. I love you, Mum. It's not just Mother's Day. It's not just on your birthday. It's every day. I love you. This one's for you. Actually, Mum, can I borrow your phone card? Let me phone up Nan and Grandad and let them know that two of their grandsons are in the big money sound. Cause Grandma and Granddad better know.
Wakey, wakey, everyone. Rise and smile, rise and smile. Welcome back to another exciting edition. And I'd like to say good morning, goodie, and thank you so much for coming to the rescue. Anyway, welcome to another edition. And guess what? That was Sweet Mother by Skepta. Yes. As tomorrow is my mum's birthday and it's Mother's Day, I'd like to dedicate this show to my mom and all the amazing mothers that are still here or who have transitioned. Your love is absolutely unconditional. Love you always, Mum. No matter what part of the world you are tuning in from, north, south, east or west, for the next 3 hours, it's your host, Juliet G, where I converse with real people and get them to spill that tea. And guess what? It is a T with a double E, not an A, and talk their truth. Now, if it's your first time tuning in, welcome to your newfound Saturday morning talk show on your number one community radio station. That is Supreme FM. Who watched the boxing last night? I mean, come on. Come on. Parker's fight, AJ's fight. Listen, AJ's fight, if you blinked, you would have missed it. Trust me when I say that. If you blinked, you would have missed it. Guess what? It's Saturday, the 9th of March, and the time is 8:15. Oh my goodness, time fly. As always, gratitude is definitely a must. Must always thank the Most High. And I'd also like to thank the supporters and sponsors of my show, Supreme FM, Fine Boy Inc., Martin Winter of James Shoe Care in Barkingside. Oh, Yolanda Leah, SAS, Ms. V the therapist, Teresa Young, my resident relationship master coach, Lee Townsend, my big sister's son, for her weekly prayers, Thami Quest, the UK's number one black entertainment company, and Val's Everlasting Celebrant. And I'd also like to say a big thank you to Ms. Polly for all that you do. Lastminute.com, guess what? We see you, girl. We see you. And all the amazing Supreme FM presenters, and not forgetting you, the listeners, that wake up every morning with me religiously every Saturday. Thank you. Now, those that know, before I go any further, I always like to start my show off with a prayer. Yes, let's get into that prayer mode, and I'm going to pass you on to my big sister son.
Dear Lord God, as we come together again to listen in to another edition of Spilling the Tea to Juliet G, I want to give thanks and praise. I want to give thanks and praise for all the behind the scenes work, for all the listeners, and in particular I want to give thanks and praise to Juliet G for having this programme. At this particular time, at a time that can be difficult for us, difficult for Juliet G, who sadly just recently lost her beautiful mum Florence. So I lift her up, and I lift all of us up that at some time have experienced the sad loss of a mother, especially on a day like today where it's a commercial day and where we just give a little bit extra. So dear Lord God, Heavenly Father, I praise and thank you as we all celebrate Mothering Sunday. Dear Lord God, it's a chance to express thankfulness and joy as we remember our own mothers who have, and for those of us that are still being cared for and serving their families. I also want to remember and pray for those of us who may find it difficult today and sad. But let us remember, this is the day you've made, so let us be glad and rejoice in it. Let us be glad and rejoice, dear Lord God, that you gave us the privilege and you lent us our mum for the time that they were here with us. So rather than us, dear Lord God, wallow in the fact that we've lost them and they've moved on, let us celebrate their life, their love, and our love for you. Dear Lord God, as we continue to listen in to Spilling the Tea to Juliet G, I ask you to sprinkle your blessings on her and on her guest. In Jesus' name, I lift this short prayer up to you. Amen.
Only you knew how much I do. of fantasy. 'Cause you don't even suspect, could probably care less about the changes I've been going through. If only you knew how much I do love you. Oh, if only you knew how much I do need No, you don't even suspect, could probably care less about the changes I've been going through. If only you knew how much I do love you. Oh, and if only you knew how much I do need you. Oh, only you knew how much I do love you. Only you knew how much I do need you.
That was If Only You Knew by Patti LaBelle. Welcome back to Spilling the Tea to Juliet G on supremefmlive.ning.com. I want to say a big thank you to my guest last week. God, I didn't think this was going to be so hard. I want to say a big thank you to my guest last week, Charlotte Nero. Hold on a sec. Okay. I want to say a big thank you to my guest last week, Charlotte Nero, for being so open and honest about your personal experience of epilepsy. Oh my God, I didn't think this was going to be so hard. Oh, God. Sorry. Oh, God. Right. I could do it. Right. Sorry, Charlotte. I'm mashing up your thing. For being so open and honest about your personal experience of epilepsy, stillbirth, and what child loss meant to you, being a parent of a child with special educational needs and dealing with postnatal depression. Woo! And much more. And now, if you missed that show last week, you can listen to it on Mixcloud. And that's Juliet G. And don't forget to press the follow button so you get notified when the show gets uploaded. Now, this morning, oh my good Lord. This morning, I'm going to be in conversation with Annette Cox-Simmons. And she's going to be sharing her experience about how COVID has affected and changed her life, living with long-term COVID, and her mental health and self-care and much more. I'm really looking forward to speaking to Annette and hearing her story. Now, if it's your birthday today, I'd like to wish you a happy birthday, and you share your special day with Bow Wow, who is 36, Chingy, who is 43, an American singer and songwriter and musician. Jeffrey Osborne is 75. Emmanuel Lewis, an American actor who is 52, best known for playing the title character in the 1980s sitcom called The Websters. So I'm wishing you all a very happy birthday wherever you are in the world. Now, I've got some really, really good news for you. Now, if you would like to book you a pre-Mother's Day pampering session, there's a new nail and beauty establishment opening up today. Yes, at Chadwell Heath, called Nail Crave, and there are slots currently available, and they're actually reasonably priced. So if you'd like to get a manicure, pedicure, nails extension, eyebrows done, eyebrows done, waxing, threading, and they do lots more. They've got lots more to offer. Contact Polly and Denisha via WhatsApp on 07931 931 931 07931 567 697. That's 07931 567 697, and they will look after you. Just go to Denisha and Miss Polly, and they're open today till 7 o'clock, but normal hours of opening is Monday to Saturday, 10 till 7. In fact, I have got one of the just really quickly, I've got one of the co-founders. Hello, Polly. You thought you were going to get away with this? No, come on.
Yeah,
tell us.
I'm currently blowing up 50,000 balloons.
So tell us about Nail Crave. Come on.
Right, Nail Crave it's basically Denisha's business. Well, Denisha's going to be running the business. It's just something that came up, and then she decided, Mum, I want to open another little business here.
Love it.
So, okay, let's just see what we can do here. So that was it. We're opening our nail shop today.
And whereabouts is it? Is it on the high road?
It's on Chadwell Heath High Road.
Okay.
On the corner next to a Caribbean restaurant. Off the top of my head, I can't remember the name of it.
What?
The details are on the flyer, Juliet. Sorry.
No. I was just trying to. I'm thinking about the high road, and is it further down?
It's Wellborn.
Okay,
Lane.
near Wellborn Lane. Okay,
just off Wellborn Lane before you turn off to go down to Romford Brewery.
Okay, all right.
So it's just down there. Yeah.
Oh.
There's parking available in the area. Today's the first day of opening. And it's nails, beauty. We're going to have beauty being done down there. You can go down there and have a makeover, but all of this will come in the coming weeks.
Oh, fantastic, Polly. I wish you guys all the best. I'm definitely going to come down and get my nails done. I would have come tomorroro, but you don't open tomorrow.
We're not open tomorrow. No, we just thought that we'd just do this quick little one-off today for the Mother's Day special. So as of Monday, everything will be running from Monday to Friday from 10 till 7.
Thank you so much. Take care, and wishing
Thank
you all the best.
very much. Good luck, Juliet, and good luck for today.
Thank you.
Stay strong.
Yeah, thank you. Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye-bye.
That was Polly Muna, and one of the co-owners of Nail Crave, based in Chadwell Heath. So if you'd like to get details, WhatsApp 07931 567 697. That's 07931 567 697. Thank you.
I am the face of hope. I am the face of hope. No matter what comes up, I win. 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 Let me tell you something. If you've never been hurt before, then just keep on living. See what lies ahead in store. Or you will be broken, but it's meant to help you grow. And what don't kill can make you be invincible. 'Cause no matter what seems to come my way, I'm still on track to my destiny. No matter what comes up, I am the face of hope. I am the face of hope. No matter what comes up, I win. 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 Let me share something. If you've never been down and out, just keep on living. See what the world is all about. Or you will be tested, but there's no single mountain you can't climb. Don't you know you're invincible? No matter what seems to come my way, I'm still on track to my destiny. Ooh, I am the face of hope. Ooh, I am the face of hope. No matter what comes up, no matter, I am the face of hope. I am the face of hope. No matter what comes up, I win. 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 No matter what comes up, I'm gonna make it. I'll never give up. I win. I'm gonna make it. I'll never give up. I'm gonna make it. I'll never give up. I'm gonna make it. I'll never give up. I am the face of hope. I am the face of hope. No matter what comes up, I win. I win. I win. I win. I win. I win. I win.
Oh, welcome back to Spilling the Tea to Juliet G on supremefmlive.ning.com. Welcome back, and it is Saturday the 9th of March 2024, and the time is 8:44 precisely. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest, Annette Cox-Simmons. Welcome and good morning, Annette. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Not too bad today, thank you very much.
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
Are you normally up this early?
I'm normally up earlier, actually.
Oh, you
And
are?
I've been up since about 5 o'clock, yeah.
Why so early?
Anticipating your phone call.
What, at 5 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh, bless you. And the most important question is, do you listen to Supreme?
I do. When
And-
you do your show. Whenever you
All right,
message
all
me.
right. All right. Hi. That's brilliant. I love it. Now, Annette, I know that, emotions and what have you. Now, if at any point during the show you need to have a break, yeah, and if you become breathless and you find it a bit difficult to talk or breathe, just let me know and we'll go to break. Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
lovely.
I'll put on a track. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Annette. Before we get into it, can you just introduce yourself to the listeners so that they get a sense of who you are, like where you grew up, went to school? Only share what you feel comfortable with.
Hello, listeners. Well, my name is Annette Cox-Simmons. I was born and grew up in the Lewisham area, that's SE13. Went to primary school at Lewisham Bridge, did secondary school at Sedge Hill, left school at 15 and went into full-time employment. Became a mum at 19, and then a mum again at 31. So I've got 2 daughters, and I've now got 4 grandchildren.
Oh.
3 granddaughters and 1 grandson. I've worked all my life, just an everyday, normal, single mum. Just looking after my children, looking after my home, and being proactive at work. Yeah.
I just want to take you back to your school days. What were you like at school?
Some people think I was quite quiet, but there are some that knows me is a little bit more fiery. But I was only fiery if pushed into a corner.
Do you know
then
what?
I'd come out fighting.
I feel like you're
But
describing me.
for the most part, I would just basically hold my corner and just observe people. I like to just sit quietly and observe.
I feel like you've just described me. Were you popular at
I
school?
do like a good joke. I do like a good laugh.
Hey.
I do like a good joke, and I run jokes with my friends all the time and share funny videos and funny jokes with friends on WhatsApp and Facebook. But yeah, for the most part, I'd say I was quite a reserved person.
Were you popular?
Quite a reserved person. I'd like to think so. I have quite a few friends and family who still keep in touch with me after all these years. I've got a group of friends, male and female, that I've known for over 50 years because we were all at secondary school together, started in 1971. And we're still friends and try and meet up as regularly as we can, go out for a meal or just talk on the telephone, just catching up with one another's lives.
Now,
So, yeah.
what was your like socially? Did you
Oh,
go out
very-
a lot? Were you
a little bit
a
of a
raver?
little bit of a social butterfly.
Oh, go on, pray
Proper
tell.
raver. I did rave most weekends, sometimes Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And I've been like that since I was about 14 or 15. Even when I had the children, I used to rave. And sometimes Mum used to say to me when she was babysitting, "Did you know you've got children? Did you know you can't rave Friday, Saturday and Sunday?" And I said, "I can, because you're here." I can, because you're here. You're not going anywhere. But yeah, I do like to go out. I like to travel. I've done Europe. I've done the Americas, and I've done the Caribbean. So yeah, I like to get away at least, or used to like to get away at least once a year, once or twice a year.
So you did a lot of travelling.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to get a sense of what life was like for you before COVID 2020. Tell us a little bit more.
It was good. I mean, there was nothing spectacular about it. Just a very ordinary woman, going about her business, coping with her home, children and work. And holidaying, raving. I used to very much like to rave because I used to like to dress up, sort out my outfits, do my nails, get my hair done, and try and come out different every weekend, if I could, with a different look. I had a friend who I went to school with who's a dressmaker, and I used to go out of my way to find designs that I liked that suited me and get her to make my outfits so that it would be different from everyone else's. So, yeah, it was a good life, I think. I had a happy life.
Yeah.
Had a happy childhood, extremely happy childhood, and a happy life, really.
Good. Now, can you remember when we went into lockdown, the 23rd of March, 2020?
I was actually, I was actually in Trinidad.
Okay.
I retired in 2019 at the age of 60, and decided to have. Well, the plans going forward was my first holiday would be with my husband, and my second holiday would be with my best friend, Jean Ryan. So I managed to get the husband holiday in, so we went to Grenada for 3 weeks, and I was meant to be in Trinidad for 2.5 weeks. My husband returned to England on the 13th of March, and I went off to Trinidad. I was there for 4 days. And then the narrative from the British government was that all British nationals must come back to the UK by the 22nd of March, I think it was. So literally I was there for 4 days, and I had to get myself back to Grenada. I went back to Grenada as a Grenadian national because I hold a passport, because they weren't letting international people into the country, only domestic flights. So I was classed on as a domestic flight because I came in from Trinidad, and I came in on a Grenadian or a British passport.
Okay.
I was there for about 3 or 4 days trying to bring my flight back to the UK forward. Managed to do it literally the day before the flight was going out, because getting through to Virgin was an absolute nightmare.
I can imagine.
It was an absolute nightmare with people ringing up whether their flights were going or not. They would then say, the narrative on their answer phone was, we are only going to speak to you if you're travelling within the next 48 hours. If you're not travelling within the next 40 hours, please hang up.
Come off the phone.
Then the next narrative was, there is an 1.5 hour wait on the telephone line if you do get through. And so I just constantly rang. I got my cousin's wife to keep ringing from this country whilst I was ringing from Grenada. In the end, I managed to get through myself and get a seat on that flight. The flight was absolutely packed. Everyone was wearing masks and gloves. I felt as if I was in the Twilight Zone, basically, on that flight. But I managed to get back in, of course, came back to the UK. The taxi driver that picked me up from the airport, he was wearing a mask. I said to him, well, I haven't got a mask because I've just come from Trinidad. He's gone to me, well, just put your scarf around your face. So, like a robber, I had to put my scarf around my face whilst I was in his car. It was weird. It was so weird, I can't tell you.
Now,
because to get to 60 and not experienced anything like that before in my life.
That was probably like watching one of those Space Odyssey films.
But look, I felt as if I was in the Twilight Zone. I then decided, I came back on the Sunday. So on the Monday, I took myself down to Lewisham. All the shops were shut. Very little, there was hardly anything on. There was no stalls open. People were wandering around with masks and gloves. I'm like, what the hell? Did I go to sleep or wake up in a nightmare? That's what it was like. I didn't buy a thing. I just got on a bus and came back home. And that's where I stayed. And that's where I stayed.
When did you realise you had COVID?
When I woke up from the coma. When I woke up from the coma. So literally.
So what happened? Can you explain?
So basically what happened was the Monday before I collapsed on Monday the 25th of October, as I said, which was my 62nd birthday. But the Wednesday before that, I got ready to go to my aquafit class as usual. I did aquafit Mondays and Wednesdays, and I just felt a bit tired. So I had a coffee, I leaned against the cushion, and then I thought, oh, I don't feel like going again now. So I tried ringing up to move the money to the class for the next week, for the next session. And then I couldn't get through to them. I thought, oh, it's only $3.60. I'll lose that, don't matter. And I just laid down and I slept for the whole afternoon. So all I had was a dry cough. I didn't have any other flu symptoms. I didn't have a runny nose, a sore throat, a headache, fever, nothing. Just a dry cough. So the Saturday, my sister rings me and said, oh, how are you feeling today? So I said, I've just got this stupid dry cough that won't go away. It's getting on my nerves, actually. Drinking honey and lemon and all this business, trying to lubricate my throat. But still, it wouldn't lubricate my throat and I still had this dry cough. Okay, good. The Sunday, I was fine. Well, I thought I was fine. The Monday, my birthday, I got out of my bed at 7 o'clock in the morning, picked up my birthday cards, and went next door to the front room. Now, my intention was to rest the cards on the dining room table and then go and make myself a tea or a coffee and come and sit and open my cards and read my cards in peace and quiet. I remember getting out of bed. I remember going next door and putting the cards on the corner of the dining room table. And the next thing I remember is someone calling my name, and when I opened my eyes, I was in ITU. And it was the week before Christmas. Wow. I missed the rest of October, the whole of November, and 2 to 2.5 weeks of December.
Wow. So tell me, how long, can you remember how long you stayed in hospital?
I was in hospital for 4 months.
For 4 months?
I came out on the 8th of February 2022. And on the 16th of February, the community nurse came to see me, community physio, and he did my SATs, the SATs is a probe they put on the tip of your finger, and it measures how much oxygen is in your blood or in your system. And when he measured it, he said he deemed it to be too low. So he said, I need to ring the respiratory team to find out what to do. So he did, and they told him to bring me back into hospital, call an ambulance and get me back into hospital. They blue lighted me into hospital, got into A&E. They pumped, because at home, when I left hospital, I came out on oxygen support. I was told that I would only be on oxygen support for 2 weeks at home. It's been nearly 3 years and I'm still on oxygen support. Whenever they tried to reduce it from 2 litres to 1 litre, my oxygen level drops dangerously. So they put it back up again. So I'm on 2 litres of oxygen at home, literally 24/7. Wow. If I go out, I have to have an oxygen tank on my back, which is quite heavy actually. Because basically I guess if I didn't have my oxygen on, I would expire or I'd collapse again. They said that the COVID had zapped all the oxygen in my body, which is why I collapsed.
Okay.
Yeah. So I came out in February the 8th. February the 16th, I was back in hospital again. I was there for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. Then I came out. In the May 2022, I went in for an outpatient appointment with my sister, and my sister came with me, and then they said, we need you to just pop round to A&E and just get checked out. I said, why? And they said, because the oxygen levels are low. I said, okay. Went round there, they kept me in. I was there for 3 weeks. Then in September 2022, I was at home, didn't feel well for a day or two. Then my husband tried to wake me and couldn't wake me up, so I had to call an ambulance. I went in, they said I had sepsis and acute kidney injury. It's as if my body just keeps attacking itself. I'm not doing anything to cause these things, they just keep happening. And then in December of 2022, again, I just felt cold one night, and the next morning I was still feeling cold. And my husband said, shall I stay home? And I said, no, go to work, I'll be fine. Just make me a hot cup of tea. If I drink that, I'll be okay.
Annette,
yeah?
Sorry, we are actually going to break, yeah? And
right.
When we come back, you can continue, okay?
Okay.
Because I don't want it to cut out so people hear mid-sentence, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Welcome back to Spilling the Tea to Juliet G on supremefmlive.ning.com. I'm in conversation with Annette Cox-Simmons, and she is sharing her experience about how COVID has affected and changed her life, living with long-term COVID, her mental health, self-care, and much more. Now, And Annette, before we went to break, you couldn't shut up. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. Before we went to break, you was telling us about your body attacking itself, and you were talking about sepsis. And hold on, before you even say anything, I want people to understand sepsis, yeah, is really serious. It can kill you, yeah. So please take note of the symptoms. Yeah, if you have urinal issues such as reduced urination, or you have the urge to urinate, low energy, weakness, your fast heart rate, low blood pressure, fever or hypothermia, where you're very low body temperature, you have the shakes or chills, warm or you feel clammy, sweaty skin, confusion or agitation, go and seek medical help. Go and seek medical help. It's no joke, because when you've got sepsis, they give you some kind of antibiotic, but it needs to be treated immediately, and that antibiotic can save your life. So if you've got any of that, or you know anybody that's got that, do something about it. Sorry, Annette, go ahead.
Hello, Juliet. Yes, as I was saying, on the 22nd of September, 2022, I collapsed at home. I had been experiencing some of those symptoms of sepsis, but wasn't aware what the symptoms were and what I had. I was feeling very cold. My blood pressure took a nosedive, and I became lethargic, dizzy, vomiting, and just basically feeling unwell. When I collapsed at home and my husband called an ambulance and I got into A&E, they said I didn't know what was wrong with me, but they said I had sepsis and acute kidney injury. I was put onto the high dependency unit in intensive care unit again, and treated there. I was there for 3 weeks. Came out of hospital. By December 2022, I was ill again. Again, it came on suddenly. Just for one day I felt cold, didn't feel very well. My husband noticed I didn't feel well and asked if I should stay at home that day, and I said no, I'll just have a hot drink, you go to work. He clearly didn't like the look of me, because he rang my sisters and said, look, I don't like the look of Annette when I left home this morning. Can you lot keep a check on her with a video call during the day? Well, by 8:30, my youngest sister rang me, and 9 o'clock, my second eldest sister rang me, and both of them agreed with him that I didn't look very well. So my sister Sandra came round, and she brought me something. She said, she phoned me and she said, what have you had for breakfast? I said, I don't feel like breakfast, I just want to sleep. So she goes, what are you having for lunch? I said, I don't know. So she goes, well, I'll bring you lunch. And she came, she brought me lunch, but I couldn't face it. I said I just wanted to sleep. So she goes, all right, have a lie down on the settee, have a sleep, and I'll keep checking in on you every now and again. She was in with my mum in the other bedroom. So she came out and she tried to wake me, and apparently she couldn't get me to wake up. She felt my face and it was red hot, so she called an ambulance. They got me back into hospital again, blue lighted me in, and I had COVID again, influenza A, and a chest infection, and I spent 2 weeks in hospital. I should add that along the COVID symptoms, the not being able to breathe, and the dependency on oxygen to breathe, in ITU, I had a nosebleed apparently for a couple of weeks when I was out in a coma, and they packed my nose with gauze, I guess. I caught an infection in my nose, and I now have a corroded septum. A septum is the cartilage in your nose.
Yeah.
That's completely corroded and gone, apparently, on X-ray. It's not repairable. So I now have to douche my nose 4 times a day with a salt water and antibiotic ointment just to keep the infection at bay. I do tend to have a constant runny nose. And that's all caused again because of my stay in ITU, where they had to treat me for one thing, and unfortunately,
You come out with something
excuse
else.
me, caused something else. Yeah. When I came round, as I said, I couldn't talk, I couldn't write, I couldn't move. With intensive physiotherapy in the ITU department, I had to learn to sit up, to stand up, and to walk again. Once the tracheostomy was removed from my throat, I was given physio on how to start talking through a voice recognition device. So if I voiced anything, it blew into this machine, and the machine would let the words come out
Okay.
of what I wanted to say. And as I said, I had to do that with 2 physiotherapists in a particular position on the bed for me to be able to speak. It was the most surreal thing being in ITU. I really didn't realise how ill I was until afterwards. A lot of the ITU staff, a lot of the ward staff, and even my long COVID nurse have all said to me, looking at your medical records, you should not be here.
Were you a sickly person?
Not before, no.
Wow.
No. Which is why it's quite daunting and it's quite difficult to live with, because I've always been used to being able to get up and go and do what I want to do. And now I'm very restricted in what I can do. So that for me has been quite daunting and quite challenging to deal with. I've now developed something called sleep apnea, which I'm being treated for at the Lane Fox Clinic at St Thomas's Hospital. And in their infinite wisdom, they've now provided me with something called a CPAP mask. And that is a mask that goes right across the face, and you wear it overnight, and it puts enough oxygen into your body so that you're not tired when you wake up in the morning. And it ensures that your oxygen levels don't drop too low overnight, which apparently mine does when I'm asleep. My oxygen levels drop really low. This, I don't know if this is something I had before, and it's only been picked up now that they're scrutinising me medically. But now that's an additional thing I have to cope with. But I think the way it's changed my life has been quite drastic, actually, because I've got low mobility now, and the medical staff are saying that's because my body is not sustaining enough oxygen to make all my body parts work. So I can't stand for very long. I can't walk for very far. But the thing that's most challenging is not being able to breathe without oxygen support, I think. Yeah.
So if you was to travel, just a thought.
I can't at the moment.
Oh, you can't travel?
No, I'm not fit to fly.
Oh.
My lungs are not fit to fly.
Could you go on a cruise?
Yeah, I think I could possibly do that. That's something that friends have been suggesting that I do, is perhaps go on a cruise.
Wow.
Because I've not had a holiday for 4 years, and that's a first for me. I've never gone this long without actually getting away.
Annette, just really quickly, did you watch the series on ITV based on the NHS doctors and nurses and, the medical staff? Is it called Breathless? Oh, you didn't watch it?
No, I didn't, sorry.
No, that's all right, because it was based on, what's called again, a nurse's experience of, what the doctors and nurses and clinical staff had to deal with during COVID.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can only begin to imagine.
Yeah. Well, anyway, as you hadn't watched it, doesn't matter then.
Yeah.
Can you also share your experience of what it was like whilst you were in hospital? You know, when you opened your eyes, can you just explain, you know, like coming out of that coma, what that was like for you?
Well, when I opened my eyes, I clearly knew that I wasn't in my bedroom. From the surroundings, I had a good look around. The lights were really bright.
Did you panic?
I didn't panic. I just thought, where am I? And I thought I must. In my brain was saying, well, I must be in a hospital because I'm not at home. And then I thought to myself, why am I in hospital? But I couldn't speak, so I couldn't ask anybody. I had a doctor there. My daughter was there, and I'm looking around, and I can only describe this feeling as brain fog, because I'm looking around, but I seem to be receiving everything into my head in slow motion. It's the weirdest feeling, and I can't describe it any other way. And in my mind's eye, I thought I'd had a stroke because I couldn't talk, because I couldn't move. So I thought, oh my God, I've had a stroke. But I could hear the doctor saying to me, you're here because you've had COVID. And in my head, I'm going, are they sure I've had COVID? I didn't have a cold. I didn't have a fever. I didn't have a headache. I was all right. And then the next minute, I'm here. But as time went on, you know, more and more clinicians would come and explain that the reason that I'm in this state is because I had COVID, unbeknownst to me. I had COVID, and it zapped all the oxygen out of my blood, which is why I collapsed.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, but being in ITU was not pleasant. The staff were pleasant, but I was being tube fed. I wasn't able to eat. As I said, I couldn't speak, so that was quite scary for me, not being able to articulate what I wanted to say. There were times that I wanted something, but I couldn't tell anyone what I wanted.
And you couldn't even
and
move,
I was hoping that if a nurse caught my eye and I could move my right arm, because my left arm wasn't playing, it just weren't having it. If I could move my right arm, I could indicate to someone that I needed them. I was getting massive build-up of mucus in my lungs and in my chest.
Okay.
Because of COVID. And there was a treatment that they had to give to me on a daily basis, about 5, 6, maybe 7 times a day. And it was something called suctioning. So they would put a thin tube down into the hole near where the tracheostomy was and suck out the mucus out of my chest. That was so unpleasant. It felt like I had 3 occasions when they were doing it on different days where I felt as if I was being choked, and so I panicked and started convulsing because I was in a state of panic. I thought I was being choked.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Do you want to take a moment?
Yeah.
Do you want to take a moment?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'd like to welcome back my guest, Annette Cox-Simmons, who was telling us about her experience of living with COVID. Annette.
Hello.
Oops, sorry. That's better. Annette?
Hello, yes,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, you okay now?
Yeah, I'm good. It just gets to me every now and
Listen,
again.
you don't need to tell me, because I've
Yeah.
had my little bout this morning, you know. And the thing is, you just don't know when it's going to catch you.
No.
You know,
I'm all right most of the time. I try and keep a positive spin on things.
Yeah,
I'm trying to make
yeah.
the best of a bad situation, you know.
Yeah.
I think I need to keep upbeat and keep a positive attitude to get through this. Having a negative attitude serves no one. So basically I didn't like that procedure. I didn't like that suctioning procedure. And a couple of times I think my sister was with me when they were doing it, and I could see how difficult it was for her as well. I know me being ill was very difficult for family and friends who constantly kept in touch with my daughter to see how I was doing and if I was getting better or if they could visit. But it was at a time when you wasn't allowed to have visitors. It was right sort of like almost in the heart of COVID. So I didn't see as many people as I know I would have seen had things
So
been
you couldn't
different.
you couldn't see you couldn't have no visitors.
No, I was only allowed to see my husband, my two daughters, my sister Sandra, and one cousin called Mary that my daughter had to fight to get on the list. And my cousin Mary is a clinical nurse, and she would come along and she would massage my limbs that were numb, that weren't moving. She would exercise my hand so that I could make a fist. She would read to me. She would play me religious music and just talk to me to keep my mind active. And for that, I will forever be grateful. She is my angel here on earth. She really is. My sister Sandra, as much as she was tired after work, would try and get to me at least 3 to 4 times a week and just sit with me and talk to me. She said that when I was in a coma, she'd play all my favourite music, like my Revival and stuff like that, to keep my brain active and to keep me going. I didn't remember any of that, but she said that she did. My daughter said that her friend sent healing stones and healing prayers for me, which was really nice. And I know a lot of friends kept in touch with my daughter to see how I was. A lot of my old school friends kept in touch and were gutted that they couldn't visit me. So yeah, to all of you, I love you. I know you got the love for me.
Do you know what?
I know who you are.
Annette, we're going to
Yeah.
break.
Okay.
Welcome back to Spilling the Tea to Juliet G on supremefmlive.ning.com. I'm currently in conversation with Annette Cox-Simmons, and she has been sharing her experience of how COVID has affected her, has changed her life. She's living with long-term COVID, and she's going to be talking about her mental health, the self-care, and much more. Now, Annette,
Hello.
it's been an emotional morning. Wasn't
Yes,
meant to
it
be, but we're going to stay positive. And thank you to all the people that have messaged in. I see you. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Polly. Thank you, everyone. You know, that's messaged in. It's been hard, but you know what? We're going to stay positive and stay on track. Now, it's not about me. It's about Annette. Annette,
Hello.
Can you tell us how all this has affected your married life and family life?
Well, family life, it's affected my mother mainly, because I was her primary carer. But obviously, whilst I was in hospital, my sisters both stepped up to provide her food and to do her washing and for holistic care. Since I've been out of hospital, my sisters have continued to do this. It's a great help to me because sometimes I don't have the energy to get up and cook really early in the morning, and my mum's carers are in between 11:30 and 12 to give her lunch. So mum has carers 4 times a day now, because I'm no longer to do the caring for her, and I don't cook as much as I used to, but I'm getting better. I'm getting more back into the kitchen. I cook like every 2 or 3 days. My husband, God love him, cannot cook, so I had to resume cooking duties very quickly.
So no beans on toast then?
I had carers myself, and my carers would come in and give me breakfast and give me a wash in the morning. I couldn't wash myself. I couldn't dress myself. So
how did that make you feel?
Weird. Weirdest feeling ever. I've never had it. I can't remember the last time someone had to do something for me. Probably when I was 5, when my grandma used to comb my hair. But, you know, I've always done my own thing. I've always looked after me. If anything, I felt that I was the one to look after others. So having to have someone come and dress me, and in the end I didn't want the carers to see me naked as well. That was a weird one. And I'm like, well, how can you have a wash if you don't take your clothes off? So I would get my daughters to come all the way from Kent to give me a shower in the evenings. Or my husband, because I just didn't want a total stranger seeing me naked in the shower. So I was meant to have carers for 10 weeks. After 6 weeks, I told them, I think I can manage now. They said, are you sure? I said, yeah. And I made myself manage to do what I had to do. It was a chore. It was hard. Just peeling potatoes and carrots would leave me breathless. Walking just in my tiny flat from my bedroom to the kitchen, I'd have to sit down as soon as I got there. Physio came in, assessed my home, provided me with some aids that they thought could help me. And I had some physiotherapists come in and work with me at home as well, helping to learn how to dress myself. Having a shower takes ages now. By the time I get in, strip off, get and sit down on the bath board, turn the shower on, I'm tired. I have to just sit there for a couple of minutes. By the time I've showered myself, got out, did the necessary in the bathroom, and got back to my bedroom, I'm tired. I'm like, what the hell? I'm having to get used to it, but it's been hard. It's been very hard.
It's not your life,
because
that's why.
I've always been a get up and go person, and so having to not be able to do the things I used to do is quite challenging.
So you've
really
spoken about your family life, how it's affected your family life. You've not mentioned how it's affected your married life.
Well, my husband's had to be very patient indeed. He's now dealing with a sick woman, but he's been very patient, he's been very kind, he's been very understanding, and he's a godsend to me.
Annette,
really
he's taken his vows very seriously.
He certainly has.
You know, in
He
sickness
certainly
and
has.
in health.
Now, I got married late in life. I got married at the age of 52.
It don't matter.
Yeah, at the age of 52, because I was waiting for Mr. Right, and so far, I have to say, 11 years on from being married, it was worth the wait.
Ah, that's nice.
So, ladies, if you're out there still looking, it's coming.
Me not
Just be
looking
patient. Just be patient. They're on their way.
Okay, now can you tell us what your symptoms are of long COVID?
Right, so the inability to be able to breathe on my own because my lungs were so severely hit by the COVID virus that it has caused scarring in my lungs called fibrosis. That is not repairable, apparently. I did have hope of my lung recovering, and my consultant did refer me for a double lung transplant. But I was turned down by the Harefield Hospital because they deemed that I was not clinically fit to have that operation because I've got too many other comorbidities, of use of their words. They didn't think that with the comorbidities I did have, that I would survive the operation. So for that reason, they wouldn't put me on the list.
How do you feel about that, though?
While I didn't really want such a big operation, I kind of resigned myself to the fact that that might be the only way I'd be able to get back to normal without needing the oxygen. So it felt like a bit of a blow when they turned me down.
But, you know, they say every disappointment
but
is
I
a
have
blessing.
to say, in my grandmother's words, every disappointment for the best.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's a good thing I didn't go under the knife and not have survived the operation.
There you go.
So if they give me those odds, then I'll stay as I am. Hearing that I've got respiratory failure, which I only heard last week Wednesday, was a little bit of a blow for me, because it makes me realise, from what little I know of respiratory failure and what little I've researched for respiratory failure, it means that my lungs are not going to recover on their own. So it looks as if me and my little oxygen tube are going to be friends for the rest of my life.
You'd
I
have
just
to,
have to get used to it.
name it.
Yeah, I'll have to give it a name.
Yeah, your little backpack.
Yeah, my little backpack. I mean, going out now, if I have to go out for more than, say, 2 or 3 hours, I need my husband so that he can hold the oxygen, hold the 2 oxygen tanks. I have one on my back, and he holds 2. And then that will see me through about 6 hours of being out.
Okay.
But, you know, otherwise...
What if your husband don't want to go out? He ain't got no choice.
Anyone who knows me knows he hasn't got a choice.
Poor man.
I went out the other day and my friend came and took me, so she took one oxygen bag and I took the other. And then I was out for like about 8 hours and the oxygen ran out, so I rang him up. My oxygen has run out, can you please bring me an oxygen tank? So he had to come and bring me a 3rd oxygen tank. So it's all those things that are still, you know, I'm still coming to grips with, really.
Well, you're lucky. But put it this way, you know what? You're lucky that you've got somebody that you can rely on.
Somebody very kind and attentive.
You know.
And very understanding.
Absolutely, you know.
Yeah, I have to give that man his props. Yeah.
Now, have you had to make any adaptations to your home because of...
Well, I've had to get... my sofa's had to have risers on it because... Sitting in the sofa, I'd need to, because I'm a bariatric lady, sitting in the sofa needed 2 people.
Say that again, you're a what? A
bariatric
What's
lady.
That?
Someone whose BMI is quite high.
Okay.
So, if I sat on the set, it'd need 2 people to get me out of it again.
Okay.
So, physio came around, assessed my home. They gave me a perching stool in the kitchen because I can't stand for long, and if I have to prep meals, I need to be able to sit down to do that. And I've had chair risers in the living room on the settee so that it's high, so that when I sit down, I can get out again by myself. I was afforded a Zimmer because I couldn't walk very well. I had a Zimmer frame to begin with when I came out of hospital.
Did you feel like an old woman?
Well, I said to my cousin early, and I said to her, look, I feel as if I'm about 99. I said to her, who at the age of 63 has a Zimmer frame? You know, what the hell? But, you know, I needed it to balance and walk. And it's a good thing I did have it, because in 2022, when my body was trying to recover itself, I fell over 7 times.
Did you knock your head?
Twice. I fell in and out of the bath. I fell in the kitchen twice, in the hallway once, in the living room once, and in my bedroom once. And how I got on the floor, I shall never know. I didn't feel dizzy. I just fell over and, you know, needed someone to get me up off the floor. So, yeah, But luckily in 2023, getting back on a more positive note, I managed to stay out of hospital, hip hip hooray, and I feel a little bit stronger.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel a little bit stronger. I'm nowhere near where I was before all this happened. But by God's grace, I'm getting there.
Mm-hmm.
And with the support of family and friends, I'm getting there.
Did you have to undergo any tests for long COVID?
Yeah, every so often, and I've got another one coming up soon. Every so often, I'm put into a chamber and I have to do a test blowing out and sucking in. And that is to assess the ability of my lungs to breathe. They also give me a walking test, which is coming up soon, next 2 weeks, I think. A walking test. So they put 2 bollards and I have to walk in and up and down between the 2, stopping when I'm tired, and they read how much oxygen I'm using. How much they do my sats, and they see how much oxygen is in my blood. If my oxygen drops too low, they up the litres of oxygen that's coming through the oxygen tank. So I have to have those done regularly. About every 6 to 8 weeks I have those done. I was under the ENT, which is the ears, nose and throat team, for this corroded septum, but they've said there's nothing more they can do. The only thing the hole is too big, they can't repair it. If it was smaller they would have been able to, but it's too big. So what they've decided I must do is just 4 times a day is just douche with salt water and this antibiotic ointment, which will keep any further infection from arriving in that area and to stop the corrosion of the septum, any further corrosion of the septum. I think that's about it, really. I was recommended to do an exercise program, which is on a Wednesday and Friday. It's called LEAP, and it's a lung education exercise program, and they just put you through about half hour, 45 minute of exercise every week to build your lung capacity, basically, to build your stamina. Yeah, so that's about it on the medical side of it, on the clinical side of it. Although I do have 2 other clinical areas that speak to me, again, about every 6 to 8 weeks, which is the long COVID nurse. And she's more concerned about how my physical well-being is. And then I have a lady from Lewisham Alliance that rings me about every 6 weeks, and she's more concerned with my mental state.
We're going to talk about that after the when we come back on the other side of the break, because I want to talk. Do you feel that you'll ever fully recover? Well, not fully recover, but you know.
No. In the last week, I've had to come to terms with that. I don't think I will ever fully recover. I think this is it. That's hard to accept. It's a pill to swallow. But I can't harp on that. I've got to try and keep positive. I've got my children, my husband, my mum, my grandchildren, my siblings, my friends that I need to be here for, and I want to be with.
Yeah.
So, for that reason, I can't let myself sink. I've got to keep my head above water.
Amen to that, sister.
Yeah.
How do you spend your days?
I don't do very much, unfortunately. I almost feel sedentary, which is, I don't like that feeling. I wish I could get out more. I don't do very much. I get up in the morning, I have breakfast, I do my meds, then I have a mid-morning nap, then I get up, I do lunch, I go on a sit and I chat with my mum for a bit, then I come in,
Does your mum live near you?
Sorry?
Does mum live near you?
We both live together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we live together. She's only in the bedroom across the hallway.
Oh, that's all right.
So I go and sit in her chair and have a chat with her. If she needs anything like medication or to see the doctor, or if she's ailing, then I do that. I ring the medics and get them in to check her over. I make sure that her medications are ordered and arrive. They bring that to the door because I can't go and get it anymore. And so we just spend some quality time together for a couple of hours, and then I'll come in here, play some games on my phone, catch up with friends, email friends, text friends, and watch a bit of Laura Lake on the TV. That's about it.
How has this illness impacted your friendships and your social lives?
Well, my social life, it's greatly impacted my social life because I can no longer go out and rave like I used to. If I go anywhere, it has to be somewhere that I know I'm able to sit down, because I can't stand for long. So if someone invites me to a party, for instance, I have to ring the person who's invited me to find out what the venue's like. Is it likely that I'm going to be able to sit down in the venue? If it's a case that I can't, then I can't attend. I recently had an invitation to a party, and the venue, there's a restaurant upstairs and the dancing area is downstairs, and I couldn't do it because I'm not good with stairs. I can't climb up and down stairs very well, and still very poor mobility on the stairs. So for that reason, I couldn't attend this birthday party because it meant going downstairs from the restaurant, and I wouldn't even if I got down there, coming back up would have been a nightmare. So I didn't go. So I don't get out socialise to parties very much. I used to like to going out to concerts, to theatres, and do my aquafit twice a week. I miss that very, very, very much. So yeah, I'd say it's greatly affected my social life. It really has. People don't see me as much anymore.
Do they come and see you?
I do have a couple of friends that come and see me, and I've also got a couple of friends that ring me, quite a lot just to see how I'm doing, checking in with me, which is really nice. A couple of old school friends that I've had since I was 11 are still doing that. And two of my ex-partners as well are still ringing in and checking in how I'm doing and stuff like that.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, that's really nice. That's really nice.
I know we are coming up to break, but we'll touch on it anyway.
Okay.
But this question I'll ask you before. Do you feel people do people treat you differently? Do you think people treat you differently now?
I think they're more. How can I put it? I think they try to accommodate me more. Like, if I go somewhere, people will make sure that I've got a seat. I don't think they treat me differently. I just think when they see me, because I'm not out and about as often as I used to be, when they see me, my friends and family, they do seem glad to see me, and they're glad that I was able to come out, and not just be stuck at home. And they know the effort I have to make because I can't walk far and I can't breathe well. They know that if they see me, I've really made an effort to be there, and they're grateful. I think they're grateful for that. That's the feeling I get anyway. Yeah.
2 minutes. Okay, let's talk. Well, I'm going to ask you anyway. Do you attend a rehab to manage your illness?
Sorry, can you say that again for me? Juliet?
Do you attend a rehab to manage your illness, like a rehab centre?
No, I don't attend a rehab centre. The only rehab I'm having really is doing those exercise classes. But no rehab has been involved. I've had physiotherapist input who've come into the home and helped me with exercising on building up the stamina and my lung capacity. I've had physiotherapists take me for a walk outside. I had one physiotherapist that actually got me on a bus and took me to Lewisham, and then we literally just went to Lewisham. I walked to the bus stop and came back home again. On that occasion, she took me to Lewisham because I'd relayed to her that sometimes I sit on the stool in the kitchen when I'm washing the dishes, and I look out the window and I see people walking up and down or getting on the buses. The bus stop is within eyeshot of my kitchen, and I just wish I could do that. I didn't realise when I was doing that before, but that was a gift. That was a gift. And I didn't realise just walking up and down, being able to breathe was a gift from God. Now I haven't got it and I can't do it. I find it quite upsetting. So, because I told her that, she said, if you want to go on the bus, I could take you on the bus. And she did. So we got on the bus and we was fine. And it just felt weird because I hadn't been on the bus for 2 years. And then got off at Lewisham and I didn't realise that my left leg was as weak as it was. So I fell. When I fell, it was so embarrassing. Everyone was looking at me. It was horrible. And she said, get up. She said, get up because I can't get you up. And if you can't get up, I'll have to call an ambulance. And I felt so ashamed. And she said, no one's looking. I said, yes, they are. I can see them. She goes, they're not looking. And a man came over and got me under my arm and helped pull me up. So that was awful. And I felt like I didn't want to go out ever again.
Yeah.
And then I said, you know, I can't do this. I've got to be able to go out.
Yeah.
I can't stay indoors for the rest of my life. I'm not a homebody. I like to be out and about. Even if I'm not doing much, I like to be out and about.
Right. Annette, we are coming up to the all-important break.
Okay, Juliet,
and
thank
when we
you.
come back, I want to talk about the psychology of it all, how it's
Okay,
all
thank you.
affecting you mentally, okay?
Yeah, thank you.